Good morning, everyone. The title of my study is Mesenchymal Stem Cell Resuscitate Monocyte Bioenergetics and Function, Ameliorate Liver Injury, and Potentiate Regeneration in Acute on Chronic Liver Failure. As we all know, that monocyte macrophage system plays an important role in pathophysiology of acute on chronic liver failure. In cirrhosis, there is some degree of gut dysbiosis which result in increase in systemic pathogen load. This on top of that, any acute injury causes acute on liver failure, which causes hepatocyte death. This increase in DAMPs and PAMPs result in activation of Kupffer and may result in loss of their function as it happens in acute liver failure, further increasing gut liver permeability. On the other hand, monocyte and macrophages are known to be dysfunctional in ACLF, resulting in poor clearance of cell debris and pathogen, and an increase in neutrophil infiltration. This results in increase in inflammation and oxidative stress, causing more hepatocyte death, failure in regeneration, systemic organ failure, innate immune dysfunction, and may result in sepsis. The underlying cause that drives and sustains these disease-associated defects in ACLF monocyte and macrophages are not yet fully understood. So the aim of my study was to understand the pathophysiology of monocyte macrophage dysfunction in ACLF and to develop the therapeutic strategy to resuscitate monocyte function in ACLF. For this, we enrolled 50 ACLF patients and collected the blood. In the plasma, we did endotoxin assay and cytokine profiling. From the peripheral blood, we isolated monocyte, did immune phenotyping, functional analysis, and metabolic flux analysis. We also took liver tissue from the patient who underwent live donor liver transplant and isolated Kupffer cells and monocyte and did immune phenotypic and functional analysis. This is the demographic and clinical profile of my patient. We had 8 patients from ACLF no SIRS group and 13 each from ACLF SIRS and sepsis group. These patients show differences in temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, lactate, AST, neutrophil lymphocyte, and neutrophil to lymphocyte ratio. Coming to the result, in the initial exploration, we found that there was increase in monocyte and macrophage number, both in liver as well as peripheral blood in ACLF patient, but these patients show decrease in phagocytic property, suggesting that there is loss of phagocytic activity of monocyte in ACLF. Further, since phagocytosis is energy-dependent process, we wanted to know which pathway do these cells prefer for phagocytosis. So we use 2-DG, that 2-deoxyglucose for blocking glycolysis, and rotenone and oligomycin for blocking the oxidative phosphorylation. We found that there was similar decrease in phagocytosis in the presence of any of the inhibitors, suggesting that it is the oxidative phosphorylation of glucose that is required for monocyte phagocytosis. Further, since phagocytosis is energy dependent, we saw into what was the effect of changes in mitochondrial respiration in ACLF patient versus healthy. We found that there was significant decrease in oxidative phosphorylation and glycolysis in these patients. Further, when we looked into the subgroup of ACLF, we found that there was progressive decrease in mitochondrial respiration and ATP production in these patients, suggesting that monocytes from ACLF SIRS and sepsis show progressive decline in mitochondrial respiration and ATP production. Further, we looked into the changes in plasma level of cytokines and endotoxin in ACLF subgroups. Surprisingly, we did not find any changes in cytokine profile in these patients, but there was progressive increase in endotoxin, suggesting that there is progressive increase in plasma endotoxin from ACLF to ACLF sepsis. Now, to know the effect of ACLF plasma on monocyte in the presence of endotoxin, we took healthy monocyte and challenged them with plasma from ACLF no SIRS group in the presence and absence of LPS. Healthy plasma was taken as a control. We did mitochondrial flux analysis after 12 hours of this treatment. We found that there was significant decrease in mitochondrial respiration in the monocyte which received ACLF plasma, which was further dampened by LPS. So, humoral factors present in ACLF plasma compromise monocyte mitochondrial respiration, which is further dampened by LPS. We then studied the kinetic changes in 8 patients. This is a small sample size. Those patients which showed improvement by 72 hours in monocyte bioenergetics had showed better improvement and better survival than those which were not able to show the improvement in their monocyte bioenergetics. Further, when we looked into baseline maximal respiration, we found that there was significant decrease in maximal respiration in non-survivors. Further, Kaplan-Meier analysis showed that patient who has mitochondrial maximal respiration above 26 picomole per minute had better outcome than those which less than 26 picomole per minute, suggesting that loss of monocyte mitochondrial respiration adversely affects the patient outcome. Next, we asked whether this changes in mitochondrial respiration was due to loss in mitochondrial biomass or mitochondrial functionality. We found that there was significant loss of mitochondrial biomass as well as functional mitochondria in ACLF patients, suggesting that loss of total and functional mitochondrial mass in ACLF monocytes are associated with their defects in mitochondrial respiration. We then asked, can augmenting mitochondria help in resuscitating the monocyte bioenergetics? So recent studies have shown that mesenchymal stem cells are able to donate their mitochondria to the cells with dysfunctional mitochondria and enhance their bioenergetics. So we did in vitro co-culture of our monocytes with mesenchymal stem cells, and we found that the mesenchymal stem cells were able to donate their mitochondria to ACLF monocytes, increasing their mitochondrial biomass and mitochondrial potential. They were also able to increase the monocyte bioenergetics concomitant with an increase in phagocytosis. We next wanted to study the effect of mesenchymal stem cells on monocyte energy and function in animal model of ACLF. We found that animals that received umbilical cord mesenchymal stem cell therapy showed improvement in mitochondrial bioenergetics as well as phagocytosis, suggesting that mesenchymal stem cell therapy increases phagocytic activity and mitochondrial respiration of monocytes in ACLF. Further, when we looked into liver histology, we found that group that received mesenchymal stem cell therapy showed decrease in hepatocyte ballooning and decrease at 24 hours of therapy, and also showed decrease in hepatocyte death at day 11, suggesting that MSC therapy prevents liver injury. Furthermore, when we looked into liver regeneration through PCNA positivity, we found that there was increase in PCNA positive hepatocyte proliferation at day 11, suggesting that MSC therapy promotes hepatic regeneration. So to summarize, bioenergetic failure drives monocyte dysfunction in ACLF. Oxidative phosphorylation is needed for phagocytic function of monocyte. Loss of total and functional mitochondria in ACLF monocyte lead to broad defect in their energy metabolism. MSC improves ACLF monocyte bioenergy and function via mitochondrial transfer. MSC therapy restores innate immune function, ameliorates liver injury, and potentiates regeneration in ACLF. I would like to thank my mentors, lab members, Department of Molecular and Cellular Medicine, Center for Comparative Medicine, and ILBS for their support. Thank you.